our questions starting out, but hopefully the questions got more insightful and more interesting as we got our legs under us.
Well, it actually was fun because there were, after some changes in the industry, we really it was nice to have some attention again.
Was it you that introduced yourself and apologized for breeding flavor out of barley? I can't remember if that was your quote or his, but I thought that was just pretty great though, that it was again, y'all, I could feel the reinvigoration that was going on when we were having conversations. So really cool to see this happen. So yeah, again, thanks for everything you've done. And so next up, guys, on our agenda tonight, I am going to hand off the microphone to Hannah and Lindsay to go through our third annual Malt Cup Awards ceremony. Take it away, y'all.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us for the third annual Craft Malt Cup. We are so excited to share our presentation with you all again. Miss your faces directly in front of us, but nonetheless, I feel the energy behind this. I know so many of you are really anticipating it and possibly, having some pretty bad fingernails after the nail biting that's gone over the last few months leading up to this. So to get right into it, let's add some congratulations to our previous year's winners, our outgoing medalists from last year. If you remember, last year we had the Pale Malt and Light Munich categories, Blacklands and 1886 taking home gold for those. 1886 actually going home with the Craft Malt Cup or trophy for the year for bragging rights for that. Then Breeze Malt, Link Malt, Admiral, and Root Shoot, all representing our Craft Malt Cup last year. I really hope that you guys have felt continued benefit out of your winnings last year and the information that you gained from the competition last year. And I hope that we can continue to build that and you find the same kind of value out of it this year.
Hannah, I'm sorry to interrupt. Would you mind sharing your screen one more time?
Oh, yeah.
The slide deck up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's go. There we go. Are you guys seeing it now?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Well, there are our 2020 Craft Malt Cup award winners. Congratulations again to all of you guys. So let's get into the competition this year. Once again, we had a Pale Malt category, and we swapped it out this year for a Pilsen. So Pale Malt, for any of you who are joining first time out this year, we've had Pale Malt consistently throughout the 3 years of the Malt Cup. Munich last year, or Light Munich, and this year we swapped out for a Pilsen. Despite COVID and the challenges that went into that, we actually grew the competition this year. We had 46 entries all in. That encompassed 25 entries for the Pale Malt and 21 entries for the Pilsen. That was 28 different malt houses that are participating in this year's cup. We opened it up to international this year, which was very exciting to see samples coming in from all over the world. So we had 7 different countries represented, 16 states, and 1 province. And so, like I said, we hope to grow this every year. I hope to gain even more participation from around the world and around the US and Canada for our future years. We had 28 malt houses and 29 varieties that were entered. Lots and lots of variation for the varieties that were included in this, all the way across 2-row, 6-row, spring, winter barleys, very large diversity of malts and barleys that were used in this competition. My mouse wheel is very sensitive, so sorry about that, guys. So to turn it over to Lindsay, I'll let Lindsay describe a little bit about what we're looking for out of these 2 categories.
All right. Okay, cool. Hi, friends. I just wanted to make sure that my microphone was working. So what we were looking for with these two categories, first of all, how we actually built these style guidelines was based off of your feedback, and also based off of how past winners of the competition tasted. And so what we did is we aggregated the tasting data, the description data from all of our expert judges over the last few years to come up with these flavor targets that we were looking for. And what we were looking for basically in pale malt was, I mean, you can read the style guideline there, but we're looking for, of course, the absence of any kind of medicinal, stale, vegetal aromas, and that kind of fresh, bready, nutty aroma as well. I was very impressed with the judges with their consistency for being able to kind of find differences, very subtle differences between samples. And I feel very validated that every year we are going to continue to look at these style guidelines, these descriptions, and see kind of how flavor changes. What's really great about the methods that we're using is we are kind of creating a database of the tasting data for what you guys are submitting, and we're able to really pinpoint what are the characteristics of those winning malts that we want to build our style categories off of. And so that's how we built these categories. We started using them a few years ago, and we used it again to ground the judges in their evaluations for each of these different styles that we were looking at. So you can continue forward. Oh, Hannah, you're muted.
It's not on my end.
There you go.
All right, are we good now?
Yep.
So I don't know that you necessarily need to go into any more detail on the description. So we've got pale malt is up here now. Here were the guidelines that we used for Pilsen. Those are available on the website. I believe that all the malt cup stuff is still up there. So anyone wanting to go back and read into that more detail would be welcome to. Does that cover the categories well enough for you, Lindsay?
I think that covers it. We're going to be building off of these in the future, and we're going to be soliciting your feedback as well for the next categories that we'll be judging. And we basically want to build these categories around what you guys are saying with the flavors of your variety or of your products.
So to give you a little bit of structure of how the competition works, we built it into several different phases, and it actually worked out really well that last year for the competition, we realized that to build something like the malt cup where there's actual, there's a progression of how to do a hot steep. You actually have to do the milling and the steeping and the waiting for it to filter. And to do that for a large number of samples for a large group of people was really going to be challenging if we were to grow this competition for the future. So we moved last year actually to a phased kind of setup like this, where there were remote locations that we invited to do tastings on their own premise and allow us to manage that large number of samples. That actually set us up really well for this year, that although COVID offered lots of different challenges and everyone had to change their process in some way, we were still able to do the malt cup in a very similar setup to what we did last year. So with that, there are three phases that all of these entries, or the entries that are winning today, have gone through. So the first phase, all of these entries are sent to our lab at Montana State University. The first phase is just malt quality analysis. And so based on that, we narrow down to the next grouping. Then the samples go out for sensory evaluation, and the groups do hot steep sensory evaluation with Draft Lab. Those judges were all over the country and provide really detailed descriptions of what it is that they're picking up in these samples. And so from both of those phases, from the quality analysis, and then if you're malted advanced to the second level, you'll get those detailed descriptions of your malt. And on the certificate of analysis case, you'll get the full sheet of all the analysis so that you can, with blind codes, it's all kept anonymous, but you can find your malt, make comparison to other malts, see where you fit into all of this in comparison to your peers. So then for the third round, we've narrowed down even further. We now go to our quality and sensory evaluation. So you'll notice that in the first round, it was selection completely based off of certificate of analysis. At the second round, it was completely based off of sensory evaluation. Now we get to the third round, and judges are given both a certificate of analysis and their own ability to judge based on sensory and use both of those pieces to make their decisions. So how that breaks out numbers-wise, I'd mentioned before that starting off in the pale malt category, we had 25 entries. In the Pilsens, we had 21. Going to the second category, that narrowed down to 16 pale malts and 14 Pilsens. All of those samples were evaluated by two separate locations, two evaluations with that draft lab feedback. And so total, that was 15 different locations that all of those samples went to. In the third round, we then narrowed down to 11 pale malts and 9 Pilsens. The third round was actually in two different phases. The first round, the groups were asked to narrow either that 9 or 11 down to their top 4. And then the second evaluation, panelists were asked to take that top 4 and rank their 1, 2, 3, for the gold medal winning, silver, bronze winning. And they all had to come to consensus. Whatever their opinions were, one way or the other, they needed to argue it out and come to a group decision about what it was that they were going to advance forward or select for those medal winning malts. So what it comes down to is that the groups that are winning tonight, their malts went through a lot of scrutiny to be able to get to that top tier and claim that medal. So the last piece of our Malt Cup Awards is that all of our medalists, gold, silver, bronze, in each of your category, you guys will all be receiving these. We'll be sending them out next week. Beautiful awards that are made here in the US. But there's also the Malt Cup Trophy. And so that will go to the best of show. And the way that we determine who that best of show is, our gold medal malts go head to head. It's all about points throughout those different phases of judging. The malts are accumulating points based on their quality scores, based on where they're ranked by the sensory panels. And so at the end of that, we tally up all the different points. And out of our, in this case, we've got two categories, our 2 gold medal malts. We compare those points, and whoever's got the most points walks home with the best of show. And so that trophy will actually be sent to that location, and that malt house will get bragging rights of their small medal, but also get to hang on to that trophy for a year. And so that travels every year. It spent the first year with Root Shoot down in Colorado. It was with 1886 in New York this last year, and now it's going to find a new home after tonight. So a little bit more detail on these rounds of evaluation. So in that first round, we're doing a certificate of analysis. All of these malts are getting a full workup of what you would typically get out of a full analysis. So everything from extract and friability, your enzymes, pH, turbidity, all of that. And so those of you that participated in the competition, you'll get that full sheet with all of this information for the malts in the category that you entered. And of course, with those blind codes to keep it all anonymous. For round 2, I'll let Lindsay tell you a little bit what round 2 looks like with Draft Lab.
Great. Yeah. So for round 2, like Hannah mentioned earlier, we sent out all of the samples that were able to move on to 2 different locations. So every single malt was tasted by 2 independent places. We wanted to do this to add a level of scrutiny and to kind of smooth out any potential discrepancies. I was really pleased to see this year that there was a lot of consistency between the 2 locations, and we were able to A, up the numbers, and also B, do some repetitions to make sure that that our evaluators were kind of in the same realm. Additionally, with those 2 different locations, every malt was going to be tasted against different malts as well. So we did some pretty fancy randomization just in case, one malt was evaluated next to all superstar malts. We made sure that we were going to mix them up in a way that kind of gave everybody a very fair chance. And we were very fortunate that we did this in previous years, and so we felt really prepared to be able to do it again this year with remote tasting. So I'm very impressed with the judges, and I'm very impressed with really all of the malts. So all of those locations had to have at least 3 judges. They needed to be proficient at the hot steep method, and they had to have a certain level of sensory acuity. And then what they did is they scored those samples individually in Draft Lab using a combination of a quality score, so what the overall quality was, and also really nitty-gritty descriptive information. And so everybody who moved on to the second round is going to receive a full description of their products as by the judges, and they will be able to see what are the attributes that really drive the flavor profile in your brands as determined by those judges. So you'll be getting that report in the next week or so, along with the C of A that we'll be sending out. So what happened as well was, if you have 3 judges in each place, 6 in 2 different places, you're still not going to have a lot of statistical relevancy. And so what really had to happen was we needed to spur on conversation within those judging groups to come up with a rank rating for the malts at each of the places. And so we determined who was going to move forward based off of these rankings, and then we were able to kind of move them through. The malts that medaled tonight did well throughout the entire thing. And so I'm feeling really good about where we are with this, and you guys will all receive that report in the next week or so.
Great, thanks, Lindsay. Oh, sorry, guys. Sensitive mouse. There we go. Okay, so then round 3, again, now our judge panels, they are looking at the full picture. They get the certificate of analysis. They have their own sensory evaluations to put into that decision, and then haggle it out as to who are going to be their 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on rankings. So we did make sure also that these panels, particularly in this last round where we're wanting them to make evaluations on both the certificate and the sensory evaluations, we made sure that these panels were well balanced, that it had inclusion of experts on both fronts there, so that we would make sure to incorporate knowledge on both sides. And once again, they would all need to come to a consensus, putting their expertise all into the hat. So a little bit about our judge demographics. We had all kinds of different folks that were included in this. Brewers, maltsters that weren't competing in the competition, but it's always good to have your peers looking back in and providing feedback there. Cicerones, researchers, industry folks, a really good selection of the folks that represent who we are as craft malt. To break that out, we had 83 different individuals at 17 different locations. That included multiple states, back and forth across the country, lots of diversity in what kind of opinions we're putting into this. We want to give a really big thank you to all of our volunteer judges, especially with COVID. This was challenging, trying to get everyone into a space where they could distance, where they could follow whatever, a lot of people were at educational institutes. A lot of people had to figure out their own homes to try and provide some kind of space that would work for them. So we really appreciate all of the work that went into this. I'll say that, for the maltsters that were judges this year, we would certainly welcome you to enter the competition. We'd also welcome yourselves or lots of other people to get involved on the judging side of this. So if it's something that interests you, please reach out, and we'll work with you to get training and get it so that you can participate as a judge as well. So all of this work takes quite a few months to organize and ship and keep on track. And so we're actually already thinking about Malt Cup 2022. We want to get your feedback on that too. What categories do you want to see? we want to provide the highest value out of this. So if you have any thoughts on how we can improve it, things that you like, things that you'd like to see, we really want to hear from you and try and make this competition as best as we can, because we really want it to serve this industry and help all of you grow through it. So please let us know what you think. Yeah, and please consider entering for next year, 2022. Lindsay covered this a little bit, but maybe is there anything else that you wanted to kind of touch on for the malt style guide that we've got in development?
I don't think so. I'm checking out the chat, and everybody really wants to know who won. So, yeah, we just be on the lookout for a call to action for all of you guys to add your tasting notes to our next malt styles that we're going to be integrating into the competition in 2022. We were taking a really intentional, mindful approach about how many varieties we do every year, or sorry, how many styles we do every year. And so make sure to keep your eyeballs peeled. We would really love for you to be involved in creating these style guidelines.
Great. So yeah, time for some awards. Lindsay, do you want to take up this first one?
Sure. All right, y'all. I'm watching I'm watching the crowd, and it's really great to be able to see all this enthusiasm even online. So I want to go ahead and get started with our first award in the Pilsen category. We're going to start with the bronze, and the bronze medal for Pilsen goes to our friends at Admiral Maltings. Congratulations, guys, for Butter 12. You guys did an amazing job. Really beautiful malts. Love y'all. Congratulations. All right, Hannah. I know that we can't take too much of a pause. Everybody's just dying to know.
Well, I think we're going to try and bring Vince. Are you in the background? Are we able to get anyone up from Admiral to?
Yeah. Do you want me to do them after each award rather than at the end?
Whichever. If it's easier to do it all at the end, we could definitely do that too.
Either way, we'll make them wait just a little longer. I got Curtis coming up right now.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, everybody.
You guys have waited 8 months now.
Yeah. You guys are great.
So we'll be sending this out to you guys.
All right.
Next week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, guys.
All right, so moving on, for the silver in the Pilsen category, our winner is one of our international entries. We're so excited to introduce Malteria Italiana Artigianali, which might not be the best pronunciation of that, but with their extra pills, RGT Planet, and all the way from Italy. And they have actually joined us. I don't even want to know what time it is there, but they have joined us for this call, for this special occasion. And so we're definitely really excited to bring them up and share this competition with them.
Congratulations, guys.
They're on their way up right now, so give them just a moment.
This is an international competition now.
It is.
It'll be wonderful to see.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for the prize. I'm so happy. And thank you very much, everybody. And congratulations for the organizations for this so beautiful event. Here in Italy, it's something like 4 o'clock. So actually, I'm alone at home, but I have our beer, the beer made with our malt, but from our brew house. And I'm so happy to share with you this news and this event. And I will say so many things, but I have not so much time because there are other people that have to speak after me. But my thanks is for you, for the organization, and just for my collaborators, because I am the malt master, but the prize is for all the team, not just for me. And so, cheers and thank you again.
Cheers. Congratulations. All right.
All right, Lindsay.
Keep it going. I am pleased to be able to give away the gold medal to the, much earned gold medal to our friends at Gold Rush Malt. Congratulations, guys. Their Gold Rush Pilsner Cerveza. You guys are from Oregon. Hey, look, you're already there. Great. Congratulations, Gold Rush. You guys did such an amazing job. Let's hear a little bit about your operation.
Wow, what a great surprise. Thank you very much. My operation is pretty small compared to a lot of the other maltsters on this that I've seen on this conference. Gosh, thanks, Maltsters Guild. I'm really surprised. Boy, you guys sure put a lot of work into this malt. It's quite a job. I really appreciate how much work. And I really have to thank my grower who made some of the best barley I've ever seen. Like someone said earlier, you can't make good malt without good barley. So thanks to those guys. And I really especially want to thank all my customers, because without customers, we don't have a business. So I love that they get it. They understand supporting local agriculture and other small businesses. So thanks again, guys. I'll turn it back to you.
It was really well deserved. It definitely took the cake in all rounds. So well done to you guys. All right, now we get to move on to Pale Malt, and I'm going to hand it back over to Hannah for the bronze medal.
Okay, bronze for the Pale Malt goes to Root Shoot, walking home with another medal. This is, for anyone that's new and joining with us, this is the third year in a row that Root Shoot is going home with one of these medals. Something very, very, very well deserved over there.
Congratulations, guys. Good to see you winning again.
If there's someone from Root Shoot in the audience, can you please just say hello in chat, and I'll bring you up, because I'm not sure exactly who's representing.
They're under Root Shoot Malting.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I can find them. I'm not seeing them in the room right now, but I'm gonna keep looking because I could totally be wrong. Oh, yep, I just see Danielle's here. Okay, for some reason the search didn't work. Here we go. They're coming up in just a moment. They're on their way. It just takes a second, and I know the anticipation is just kind of like, oh, it's the thing about it's a little different virtual. So thanks for your patience, everyone.
I think they might be in a big gathering, so my anticipation for seeing what's about to come up on the screen is almost as much as their anticipation for hearing the awards to be announced.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's give them another 15 seconds or so and see if they can make it up. Otherwise, we can try and get them up on at the end.
Sure.
My image is that they're just dancing and partying. There you go. Hey, guys.
Congratulations, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's an absolute. Oh, nice. Anyways, thank you, everyone.
Nice.
It takes a whole crew to make really good malt. So it starts with the farmer, obviously, which is us as well. But then it takes the entire crew that's here with us tonight. And it's taken advice from a lot of you that are in the audience that we've learned from over the years, which is great. So again, thank you everyone for always being a mentor to us. And yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Definitely the root shoot we know and love.
Yeah. That was on brand for Todd and the team at Root Shoot. Great. So we will move on to the silver medal for Pale Malt. It goes to my personal friends, all of our friends at Troubadour Malting. I'm so happy to see you guys on there. So happy to see Colorado again. Let's see if we can get Shuli up there to say what's up. They got silver with Jeannie. Say hi.
Hey! Thank you.
Yeah.
We don't even know whose children these are. Cheers, y'all. Thanks
Anything
to all our
you wanna say?
growers. Can you hear us okay?
We can.
Yeah. Thanks to Greg Walker for sure, and Mark Arnish for seed production, and Lee McGrain for the Genie Pale, and our friends and family. And we're just super excited to found our spot.
But yeah, and cheers just to the guild and everybody in general, because we've learned so much. Just kind of all the interactions and the transparency across the board has been great, and we just appreciate everybody's efforts here. And it's just celebrate all the malts. It's awesome. Thanks, guys.
We make some great malts here in Colorado. Woo!
Congrats, guys.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. It's good to see y'all. All right, Hannah, gold medal.
All right, gold medal for Pale Malt. Gold Rush Malt is our first ever, taking 2 medals out of a single season.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
Very well
This is
deserved.
unreal. Thanks again, everybody. I'm speechless. And thanks again to my growers and my customers. And wow, I'm just speechless. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Very, very well. And so with that, we have our whole collection of medalists that are walking home with medals tonight. Pilsen category, Gold Rush Malt, Malteria Italiano Artigianale, Admiral Maltings, all in the Pilsen category. Again, Gold Rush for the Pale Malt, Gold Troubadour Maltings, and Root Shoot with the bronze and Pale Malt. But we have one more consideration to make, and so that was our best of show. And although we know that it is going home to Gold Rush, we still wanted to do due diligence and determine which of those malts was considered the best of show and accumulated the most points. And so it turns out to be the Gold Rush Pilsner. So congratulations again to Gold Rush. Super, super exciting to see the results out of the competition this year. We're so happy to support you all in this competition. And with that, I will turn it back over to Brent to give some last thank yous to all of our sponsors that really made the conference and all of this possible this year.
Man, wow. What a great ceremony. Y'all crushed it. Just an amazing amount of effort to go into that. And cheers to Gold Rush, man. Double gold. Jesus, that's just fantastic. I'm stoked for you guys. It's beautiful. Yeah, and thank you all for your attendance tonight. And a quick big thank you to all of our sponsors. I'm going to run down the list. Platinum level, Kaspar Schulz. Obviously, huge supporters of our event. And at the silver level, we've got Intelligent Malt, Lee McGrain, Ying Tai Machinery, Malter's Advantage, Montana State Barley Malt and Brewing Lab, RevTech, Draft Lab. The bronze level, we have KWS, Admiral Ackerman and the Beer Law Center. Thank you to all of you guys for your sponsorship support. It means the world to us. You know, being a virtual event, we had no idea how to really manage this, and my $3 bow tie really pulls this thing together. But thank you guys so much for your support of the craft malt industry and for everybody, all their hard work that went into this event. I think it went off as a smashing success given the virtual format. And big thanks to Vince for his work behind the scenes. And guys, cheers. It's been a hell of a year, and we look forward to seeing you all in Maine in 2022.